Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and always go beyond. I'm your host. I'm Renee. I've got the co-host here. Not sure if you can see her right at the moment, but hopefully she'll get in the camera soon. And that's Raina. And today, it's hard to believe, but it is Tuesday again. So being Tag Tuesday, I'm going to do another tag. This one is called the Book Murderer tag. So it's got a little seasonal flair to it. But before we get into the tag, I do want to mention one thing, and that is to say that I've been doing some absolutely wonderful reading lately. I'm on my 4th book this month, and the past 3 have been absolutely incredible. Just a joy to read. And I'll show them later in my video. I'll be making separate videos about each one of them soon anyway, but this will, give you an idea of what I have planned. So first, the tag, the Book Murderer tag. So first, this is a fun tag from the awesome Noah at Bookworm 1060. Of course, there will be a link to his channel in the description. Noah created this tag after his live stream with Elaine at Cobalt Dragon and Ven at Ven's Corner. I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pat, and also by Charles Gregory, who goes by CG at CG Rated Books. So let's get going with the prompts. There are only 5 of them. The first one is, what are your thoughts on spine breaking? Well, I say absolutely not. Certainly not intentionally, at least. It does happen by mistake sometimes where, the book just kind of starts giving way, especially some of the larger books or books with heavier pages, things of that nature. But I would read a book with a broken spine if it were something that I really wanted to read and it was either lent to me or, I found it in the free library or something like that. And I didn't think I would really, be able to get my hands on it otherwise at any time soon. But generally speaking, no. I just feel like, at that point, once the spine is already broken, and you've got those creases in it and all that kind of thing, that then it would just be too easy for the pages to fall out and just do more damage to the book. So, not a fan of that. Prompt number 2, bookmarks or dog-earing pages. Well, I really try not to dog-ear pages. I used to, but now I've really gotten away from it. I do make bookmarks with my diamond art. There's an example of one there. So I usually have one around with a nice tassel and everything that, I can go ahead and use in my books. That's no problem. I also get them pretty much monthly from Book of the Month, and those will usually look like that and then have a little saying on the other side. This one says, I've been expecting you. Actually, I'm saving this one for my Halloween book. So, there's usually some around that you can use. So I generally use those. And then, sometimes you get them from different organizations or things like that. So, I try to save them and have a few around. Prompt number 3, page tearing or ripping. No. Now that I'm quite sure I never did. Not intentionally, again, at least. I don't know really why you would want to or need to. In fact, I've been known to actually repair a tear with tape when I've returned a book, to the little free library or that type of thing. Either that or sometimes the jacket cover, too, will be a little bit torn, and I've repaired those to put them back into the little free library. And, the reason for all of this is not just respect for the book, but respect for the fact that other people may enjoy that book and they may come across it in the little free library just like you did. And, they don't need to have it all torn up. And, it's not much nicer if it can be in decent condition. So I try to keep them that way and, just pass them along so that somebody will discover the same things, that are good about the book as what I did. So number 4, writing in books. Generally, that's a no for me. Now, in college, I may have highlighted in a book. I think I've already mentioned in the tag that I often bought used textbooks when I was in college. And the beautiful part about that was that if you didn't, do then you didn't have to do the highlighting yourself. If you happen to get the same professor, especially, that the person before you did, and they owned that textbook, you might even get some hints at what might be in the quiz or the test, because they've probably highlighted that particular part, and maybe even have put a little star or some other kind of indication to let you know that, yeah, that's something that professor was really stressing and wanted the students to really pick up on. Sometimes, oh, I knew that was coming. So, yeah, sometimes that was very, very helpful to me. And I also find it interesting when I'm reading from a Kindle and you can add a note or a highlight on the Kindle. And when you do, it'll tell you how many people have, highlighted that particular passage of the book. And sometimes I find that to be very interesting. If I really have to make a note in a physical book because there's a point I want to make later in a video, or if there's a paragraph that, I may want to read on my video, that kind of thing, I'll stick in an index card and maybe make some notes on that, or else there's always, post-it notes and that type of thing. I don't write in the books. Ripping covers and book binding. No. Someone was talking about the days when unsold paperback books were returned to the publisher, just the covers only. They were actually torn off, physically removed from the rest of the book, and that's what was sent back to the publisher to get their, rebate on the book for its not having sold. So they were, actually physically torn off, but now those books were not supposed to be resold. However, I remember having quite a number of those when I was a younger person, right up until really young adulthood, because if I'm not mistaken, my first few Patricia Cornwell books had the cover removed. They were that type of book that, the covers had already been sent back. They were no longer a retail book. So there must have been some store that sold them. And if I remember, yeah, I think there was one that did. But they would not buy those back from you as a used book. They wanted the books to be in better condition when they purchased them from you. So that was just kind of a weird thing. But yeah, that's the only time that I really remember having things that didn't have a cover. Now, I did buy a book at the book sale this past weekend that didn't have a jacket, but that doesn't bother me so much. I mean, for the price I got it for, a book from 2023, hardcover, just because there's no jacket, it doesn't really bother me. So, tag some people is the last prompt, and I'm going to tag some of the newer channels that I've been discovering and watching lately. Now, if you remember I think it was even my last video, I said I wanted to reach out to some newer channels, and that I hadn't, done that for a while. So I went back through actually MJ's videos where she introduces new channels, and I subscribed to several of those, and I started leaving some comments and watching a few of their videos. So let's see. I'm going to tag Amanda Should Be Reading, Dr. Cranky Pants Reads. Love that title. Bucket of Books, also a good one. Vicky KNY, playing catch up Twitch. Dear's Stalking Darling Books, Already Overbooked, and Adventures in Literature. So, what are these wonderful books that I've been reading lately, you ask? Okay, let's get into that. First, there is Beartown by Frederick Bachman, and this is a great story. It's about a town that is centered around hockey. The people who play, the people who coach, and the people who support the team. The characters are very relatable and well-developed characters. I really don't think you would have to enjoy hockey in order to enjoy the book at all. I read this as part of the Ellen Made Book Club, and last time I did that with her, it happened to be another Frederick Bachman book. It was A Man Called Uva, and we both made videos where we answered the same questions about the book that Ellen had gathered from her viewers. So everyone seemed to like that format, and we'll probably just do it that way again. But yeah, I really did enjoy this book quite a lot. Next, I read Stephen King, The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon. This is part of the banned book project. I think this is the best Stephen King book that you probably haven't heard of. I'll do a complete review of this as a banned book, so I don't really want to say too much just yet, but I'll probably get the video for this out a little bit later this week. And then next up is a book I added for this month. I didn't have it on my monthly TBR when I did the video, but I started The Giver by Lois Lowry. I'm actually almost finished it, and it's only been about 24 hours since I started it. This is another banned book, and it is absolutely amazing. It's about a community in a dystopian world where all memory, pain, and like true emotional depth of feeling have been taken away. And in it, we follow a young man. His name is Jonas, and he has just turned 12. And that is the age where the people in that community get their work assignment and they begin training for it. And there is a council of elders who decides these kinds of things, who's going to get what type of work assignment. Jonas is assigned to be the receiver. So he is training to keep the memories of the community and use the knowledge gained through those memories to help make decisions with the elder council. The former receiver is now called the giver because he's giving the memories to Jonas. He's able to transfer them to him, and that's kind of what they're depicting on the cover here, I think, with the older hand touching the hands of a younger person. Okay, sorry, lost my way a little bit. Anyway, I know that probably doesn't sound too amazing, but believe me, there's something about it. I can hardly put it down. And again, this will be reviewed as a banned book. So more about it in the future. So that's it for today, my friends. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see if we can get the co-host on camera for you. You'll at least see the back of her head as she starts grabbing at treats. Raina. Yeah, there you go. All right. Thank you so much for watching.